I'm here. I am here. Hello, everyone. I'm trying something. I'm trying something here. Bear with me. Bear with me. If you can see me, I'm trying to. I thought I'd use my other camera and then I could see what was going on. But I don't know how to view my live. How do you view my live? How do you watch my live? Okay, where am I? Oh, there I am. Let me go in. Okay, where am I? Oh, there I am. Let me go in. Okay, where am I? Oh, there I am. Ha! Oh, there I am. Ha! Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Oh, it's a little bit delayed. Oh, it's a little bit delayed. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, there's out. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, there's out. Throw that away. Throw that away. Throw that away. Throw that away. Still going. Still going. Still happening. Still going. Oh no. It's all going wrong. 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 Oh. It's all going wrong. It's all going wrong. Oh. It's all going wrong. It's all going wrong. Oh. Repeating. It's repeating stuff. It's repeating. It's repeating stuff. That's not working anymore. That's not working anymore. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Right, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. That's unplugged. That's unplugged. That's unplugged. I'm turning this off. I'm turning this off. I'm turning this off. Oh, quiet. It's gone quiet. It's gone quiet. I'm going to turn you around now. Hang on. Hang on. Right, hold on. Hold on. Oh my goodness me. Hi, Warwick. Hi, everyone. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Bear with me. Oh no, it's still bad. Right, hold on. Hold on. Oh, well, that wasn't a good idea, was it? Hold on, guys. It's all going so badly wrong. Oh my god. Hi, I am here. Hang on. Oh my god. Well, that's a live and a half, isn't it? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Wait there. Wait there for me. Oh my god. Oh, now I'm turning you off. Stay there. Please don't go. That's not right. Please don't go. Right. Hold on. Hold on, everyone. I'm still here. I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. Oh, no. I can't do it that way. Why? Why can I not? No, I'm not. I swear I'm not on the piss, Kelly. I swear I'm not. I swear I'm not. It's all just gone. I can't bend that. Why can't I bend that? Oh, for goodness. All right. Okay. Got it. Got it. And it's breaking still. Right. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, I broke it. I broke it. I broke it. Oh, this is so bad. I've lost the nut. I've lost the nut. Hi, guys. I'm back from holiday. But hold on. Sorry, Jerome, if you know. I'm so sorry. This isn't normal. I promise it's not. I promise it's not. I ain't found me nut. Hold on. I'm just holding you up with my hands at the minute. Hold on. Hold on. The French Wrecking Crew. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. This is good, isn't it? Sorry, guys. Hold on. It's not going to hold without the nut. It's not going to hold. I'm putting my hands all over the camera. This is... I'm not swearing. I'm not swearing. But this is great, isn't it? Hang on. Please don't go, everyone. I found my nut. I found it. I found the nut, I think. Yes, I have. Right. It's my own fault for having a fluffy rug. Right. Okay. Hang on. Hold on, guys. Where are you looking at? You're looking at... Where are you looking at the minute? There you go. You're looking at outside. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. Where did that go in? I can't even remember where it went in. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. I found it. Right, let me screw it in. Let me screw it in. No. Oh my God. There's me trying to be all technical. I'll explain in a second if I can get myself straight exactly what I was trying to do. But, oh my God. Right, hold on. Hold on now. Do you know, I'm going to have to start it again. I know I'm going to have to start the bloody live again. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying not to do that to you. But if I can't screw this in while holding the phone, I'm going to have to start it again. Oh my God. Get in. Get in. I can't get the screw in. I can't get it in. I can't get it in. I'm going to have to start the whole live again. I've just wasted 6 minutes of your time. Oh my God. I can't, honestly, I can't get it in. Look, it's all started already. Right. Give me 1 minute. I'm not going to start it again, but just hang on a minute. I'm going to put yours on the, I'm going to put yours on my puff. So bear with me a second. This is terrible. Right. Hold on, everyone. Hold on. Oh, God. My God. This is, wow. Wow, I've seen it all now. I don't know if you can hear me anymore, but I know I put yous on the poof. But oh my God, this is horrific. Wow. Let me screw that in. I'm putting it in, I'm putting it in, I'm putting it in, it's going in, it's going in, it's going in. I know you're having a field day in them comments. Right, hold on. Oh no, am I missing something? Where's the, oh God, I'm missing a whole, oh, I'm missing a whole part. Oh, that's not good. Oh, for goodness sake. Hold on. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm sorry. Oh, my God. This is just the worst. Right, I know what I've done. I know what I've done. I know what I've done. If you can still hang on, I am coming back. Oh, and it's just a horrific story as well. This is a great way to start it, isn't it? This is sensitive. This is sensitive what I'm doing, isn't it? This is a sensitive side of myself. Oh my God. Get in, 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 please get in. Oh, no, it's not doing it. Guys, I'm so sorry. Can you give me 2 minutes? Can people wait, or do you want me to start the live again? Oh my God. Shall I? Do you mind just looking at my puff? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please, please, please. If you're watching tomorrow, this isn't a normal thing. Please bear with me. You're going to watch the puff again for a second. Please wait. Please wait. Right. Okay. Let's carry on. Right. Please get in. Please get in. Please get in. Please get in. Come on. There's people watching. There's actually people watching. Oh, please get in. Please get in. Please get in. Please get in. Oh my God. Why not? And I'm sweating. Oh my God, you fuck. No swearing, no swearing, no swearing, no swearing. Get in. Oh, I'm gonna have to. If you're listening, I'm running outside. If you're listening, I'm gonna run outside. I can't do this. I can't. Bab, can you please help me quickly? I'm on live and it's all gone horribly wrong. I tried to do that idea that you came up with and the things come up. It's still on live. It's still on live as we speak. Oh. Right, come in. It's all right. It's facing the puff. Please do that. But I'm on live. I'm on live now, please. It's all good. I tried to do this. You know, watch it on this and do it this.
Oh, okay.
And it all just went. It all started piercing everyone's ears. The sound went. Psh.
Did you turn the volume down on the?
No, I didn't turn any volumes down. So that might be it. I thought it'd be okay, and then I switched it off, and now it's all gone. And then that broke.
Give me a second.
Oh, God. Right, let me close the door. Close the door.
Where's he slotting to?
It slots into the front now. But then that's got to face down. This has got to come down to the front. Sorry. Very hot up, babe.
No.
Thank you. Oh, God. Thank you. Oh.
We need another one of these.
We do. It doesn't stay in very long.
It needs glue.
Yeah.
No, I forgot you loosen that off. Screw that into there.
Yeah, because it'll come off.
It is a terrible design.
It is a bad design.
Right.
Thank you. Would that just hold the
Yeah,
phone?
you've just got to be careful loading the phone in.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do it.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you.
Oh, right, I'm back. I'm coming back. Oh my God. I'm back. Right. 11 minutes. Look at that. Right. Hold on. Right. I am so sorry to everyone. God, this light's really bright as well, isn't it? I don't know what you've been saying, and I'm probably not going to see till tomorrow now. But if anyone's watching tomorrow, let me turn that down. I am beyond. Please accept my apologies. It's all just gone. Do you know what? Do you want to know what all that was about? What all that malarkey was about? I'd come up with an idea that I know there's a time and a place. It's all just, I'm dreading listening to it back. I'm dreading listening to all of that back. I really am. Look, my glasses are all wonky now. I've messed my mind. Do you know what it was? I thought, because they really are wonky, aren't they? Yous are all funny. I should have known. I should have known what yous two were going to use. All of us. What I was trying to do, I'd set it all up marvellous. I'd sent the kids out early, and I'd set my mic up and everything else. What I was trying to do was do the camera where it was facing the other way, so I couldn't see it, but I'd be able to look at it on the laptop. That's what I thought I could do. So I could see comments, come away when I needed to. And I'm glad yous are all amused. I'm glad all of yous are amused. But that's what I was trying to do. It was a whole big thing. And I've just heard I should have turned the volume down because I just blew all your ears for about 3 minutes. So that all went wrong. I'm so out of breath now. That was not... I had it all set up. Golden. Absolutely golden. So let me just start my intro, which I did know when I start. Hello. If you are still watching, whoever's watching tomorrow, welcome to my channel. It's True Crime with Jess Rose. If you'd like to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com. You probably won't want to know. You're probably not even here anymore, but it's patreon.com/JessRose5472. Please join us on the live. They've been a great bunch. They're still here, even though it all went horribly pear a second ago. So that'd be amazing. So how are we all now? Oh my God. Did I see we've got Warwick back as well? Did I see that? Is Phil and Warwick? I've seen Tiffany, Hayley and Kelly all cracking themselves up. I think Natalie as well. Warwick I've just seen. Is Phil here? French Wrecking Crew. I know I've seen a Jerome earlier on. Phil, yeah, Phil's there. Phil, I am so sorry. Kelly. Phil, I'm so sorry. You do you know what? It's just not even worth discussing what just happened. It all went horribly wrong. I was trying to get all technical with my setup, and it all went terribly wrong. So that's what happened. For 5 minutes, you were face down in the puff. So that's what just happened. Whew, how I'm dreading to listen to that back tomorrow. I'm absolutely dreading it. Oh dear. How are we all? Yes, I'm back. What a way to come back, eh? What a way to come back at ya. For goodness sake. Right. Okay, I'm back. I'm fine. I have no mic. I have no mic. He's disconnected. Everything got thrown. I threw everything. Everything just got thrown everywhere, thinking it'd stop the... You was FaceTime. You. Oh dear, of all the bunch I could have done it with. Oh God. Well, here we are again. So yes, you might have known, some of you might know that I have done this story. Basically, this was the very first story I did, I believe, back in 2019. Now I think this will be my 173rd video. And it's still the one that, and we know the cases I've done over the years. We know the cases I've done, but this is still one that makes my blood run absolutely cold. It was this story that actually made me realise what that saying meant, to be honest. I didn't actually, thank you. I didn't actually know what that, blood runs cold. You never quite get what it means until it happens. And just an awful story. And like I say, I had to, thank you, lovely. I had done this one, like I say. Now I've got a group on Facebook that I'm a part of. A kind of a true crimey type group. And a couple of the girls had requested me to do this one, and I said, listen, I've done it. If you want to go and have a look, it's in my pre-recorded videos and the lot. But there's been a bit of an update now. I think I know what the update is to when I'd last done the story. But they've requested I do it. It is a Tuesday request live, so here we are. It's been requested. If you've heard this story or you've even seen my version of it, I completely understand if it's not for you. But if it is for you or you don't know this story, yeah, I'm gonna prepare. It's a little bit of a it's that one. It's like a yes, so I will prepare you for that. That's what I was singing in my head. That's terrible. So I'm gonna start now. Because I've kept you all for nearly 20 minutes while I've been fapping. I've been faffing. Now, if you are watching tomorrow, I do requests on a Tuesday. So if you have any requests, I do my own stories that I like to bring on a Thursday. And I'm always here at 8 o'clock. It might not all start on time. In fact, it very rarely does. This is probably this is probably the worst one. This is probably my worst one to begin with. And what can I say? Welcome back. But yeah, I'm gonna start with the story. And if you are watching tomorrow, I do like to have a chat with the guys on the live at the beginning and at the end. But if you fast forward, probably not always 20 minutes, but if you fast forward to the story, that's fine as well. So I'm going to start, guys, and that's all the warning I'm going to give you is on this one. I originally heard this story on Britain's Darkest Taboos. That's what started me researching this story way back when. And then when I started my channel, they are really, look at this. All right, I can read, it's fine. On Britain's Darkest Taboos, and I knew when I started the channel it was going to be my first story that I did. like I say, it was my very first story. And then in a dopey thing that I was going through, I don't know what I was doing. I deleted it. I don't know what happened, but I deleted it. I didn't think I could, and it deleted. It was a whole thing. So then I redid the story, probably, it was a couple of months later. So still, I'd figure about 2019. So that's the pre-recorded one. You'll see it's probably about 7, 8 stories, I think, in. And then here we are again. So I'm going to do this one for you now. Like I say, it is the case that shocked Britain, the Kellyanne Bates story. I'm going to stop for you now, okay? Kellyanne Bates, again, a reason it was resonated with me. She was born on the 18th of May, 78. So born in the same year. She was born in Hattersley, Manchester. Her mum called Margaret, her dad Tommy. She also had an older brother. Now, with Kellyanne, very mature for her age. Really mature for her age, actually. And it said she always hung about with friends older than her. Not just where they'd be older than her in school. It was friends out of school that had left school that she was friends with. You know, very, very outgoing girl. Wanted to be a teacher. Had, obviously, all her life going for her. She was just, yeah, she just was one of these that were just ahead of her time. I think that's what I think about Kelly. Now, for a second, I'm going to switch. Only for a second, that's Kelly. Now, we're going to go to a man called James Patterson Smith. Okay. James Patterson Smith was born in 1948, also in Manchester. Now, in 1948, and obviously going into the 50s, it was a poor time, especially in the north of England. It took a hit, as we know. But he didn't have a bad childhood at all. It was said, not much money, but neither did any of his friends, no one around the areas. You know, there weren't rich and poor, there were just, everyone was poor. So everyone got on. And look, say he had a couple of scuffles with other lads, which was perfectly normal back then. But for the most part, he was doing okay. Anyway, when he got to senior school, he didn't study very well. He couldn't get his head down. So he left school, not really with a lot of options, let's say. So as he turned, obviously he'd gone into his teens. We're now into the 1960s. The work wasn't great. To find work at that time, it wasn't great anyway. So, you know, he in and out of jobs, but finding it harder and harder to find one. And people had started to notice his family, that he'd started to sort of become quite angry, and this temper had started to pick up, let's say. Not outside. Outside of the house, he was very well dressed, it was said. He was very well liked, very friendly, very polite. But it was just said that indoors, it was noticed he was very impatient, and yeah, this temper had started to rile up in him. And it was said that as he was going into the 70s, you know, where work was starting to pick up, but he still couldn't get a job, he was starting to get quite frustrated with the world as he saw it, that was holding him down, that kind of attitude. Now, like I say, in the 70s was when he first got married. And it didn't last long, his first marriage. And it was because he got quite violent with his first wife. And she just put up with it. She put up with it for a while. She did. She put up with it for quite a few years. And in the end, she was I just couldn't put up with it anymore. So his first wife leaves him, which he obviously wasn't very happy with, but he quickly met a girl called Tina Watson. Now, this was in about 1980, a very early 80s. Now, Tina Watson, she was aged 20. By this point, he was 32. All right. So he's already showing signs of really liking younger girls. And even though she got pregnant by him quite quickly, he'd been sort of giving her I'm not being flippant here, but it was sort of the odd slap, let's say, up until she got pregnant. Once she got pregnant, that escalated completely. And she ran while she was pregnant to get away from him. Now, as happens, and as we know, women in those situations, the most dangerous time for a woman or a man, but if, for the sake of this story, for a woman, is when is when they go to leave. Oh God, sorry about this, but I know if I don't do that, it's going to keep coming. There we go. The most dangerous part is when they're going to leave, and they say that it's the younger girls that are more inclined to think, I'm not putting up with this, and leave. So it said that the numbers of domestic violence assaults and deaths are amongst the younger, what's the word I'm looking for? The younger group of women, is because it's the younger girls that will eventually get up there not to run. Older women who've obviously put up with it for so long are more inclined, for I don't know what reason, but to see out. I suppose maybe they think it changed. Maybe it's they've been under that abuse for so long. They've just been, beaten down so much, they just don't feel they can leave. So the demographic that's the highest, that's what I was looking for, the demographic that's the highest, apparently, in deaths and serious assault is the younger demographic, because they're the girls that will leave. So, like I say, she left while she was pregnant, but he did stalk her. He didn't let her go quietly. But then he met another girl, 15-year-old Wendy. Now, 15-year-old Wendy, he met when he was 34. They're getting younger, as you can see. And it said that it was because he can mold them. He can do what, he can do what he wants to them. And because they have an experienced life of sorts, they, for the most part, think this must be how life is. This is how relationships are. Now, it would depend on what relationship they've seen in their upbringing. Have they seen happy parents? Is it a single mom? I'm not blaming any of this. I'm just saying that if you saw your parents and they grew up happy, would you believe that this is the way it's got? I don't know. Touch wood, I've been very lucky. So I'm not going to throw my hat into the ring in any of this. So basically, when Wendy, like I say, who was 15 and James was 34, he started beating her very early on. Now, there was a little something between Tina and Wendy that had a connection. And what it is that James tried to drown them both. He tried to drown Tina in the bath. She was having a bath. She's pregnant. This was the final straw for her. She's in the bath and she's pregnant. And he just walks up, grabs her by her throat and tries to drown her and her unborn baby. That's what triggered her to go. And then young Wendy, who's only 15 when he'd started seeing her, she's washing her hair in the sink. And he comes up and he tries to drown her. Now, going this way and towards her, that must have been, or both of them must have been horrific. I'm just thinking if you're kind of upside down. Oh, God. So she leaves. So Wendy leaves. So now James is single. Okay. So now we're going to come back to Kelly. You know where this is going, don't you? But in 1992, now at this point, James is 44 years old. In 1992, Kelly was 14 years old. And like I say, quite an outgoing girl. So she had a bit more freedom. You know, it's the early 90s. I remember it being 14. I could go out. I mean, I think I said this in my original story. I had, which Tiffany can attest to, we had quite strict parents. We did. You know, they'd know where we were. We were only allowed out for very short spurts of time. Like, I didn't have a mobile. Mobiles weren't a thing, so it would be for them. They would know where I was. You know, even though I wasn't exactly in someone's house, but they'd know for the most part where I was. I wasn't allowed out. It was kind of lights come on, straight lights come on, you're in. It was that kind of still from the 80s, that mentality. And of course at 14, 15, you're a bit like, you wanna kick out against things. But when I look back, I'm so grateful. I genuinely am. Because I could have got into so much trouble had they not been as kind of on the ball as they was. Now, I'm not saying Kelly's weren't. I'm just saying mine were very, very strict. Okay? Look, so me and Kelly the same age. I remember 1992 very well. And that's the only reason I'm doing the similarity there. So Kelly would be able to go out with friends and stuff like much of us were able to, but she'd also do babysitting. Okay. And on the one evening while she was babysitting, I believe when the couple came back, they had a friend with them. That friend happened to be James Patterson. Okay. And he offered quite chivalrous, offered to walk Kelly home, you know. And she was taken with him. She was taken with this man, you know, older man, and he seemed so charming. And she was completely taken in by him. And for the next, say, year or so, she'd sneak out to see him. She'd sneak out of the bedroom window. She really rebelled. She'd go and miss him for days at a time. You know, her parents started to pull their hairs out. You know, they've had this golden girl who, although she was quite strong-minded and, like I say, she mixed with a much older group, she was very trustworthy. And all of a sudden now they're coming up against this teenager who isn't listening to what they say at all, and she's not doing as she's told, and she's not coming home when she's supposed to. She's not coming home for days. So they started really tearing their hair out with her. And anyway, eventually, when Kelly turned 16, remember, for anyone watching who's not in England, age of consent is 16. So we can see why they waited till 16. I'm saying we know who it was. But around 16, she decides to introduce James, but she doesn't introduce him as James. She introduces him as Dave Smith under his kind of instruction. He's Dave Smith and he's 32. So he's starting the lowest straight from the beginning of meeting her family. And now Margaret, Kelly's mom, now this story, like I say, when I first came across it, it was on Britain's Darkest Taboos. And in her interview, she said that when she saw him in her home, he was coming down the stairs. I think he'd been using the toilet or something. And when he was coming down the stairs, she said her blood run cold. It actually run cold. And she said that she wanted she got this intense sort of urge. She said she wanted to stab him with a bread knife from the kitchen. Now that, upon first meeting someone is a very strong response. So it says something, doesn't it? It says something that upon meeting her daughter's partner, that was her initial response. So the hairs went up on her neck and she wanted to stab the guy. So I have heard, though, that people, upon meeting bad people, can sense it. Not everyone. I'm not saying everyone, but there are some people out there that even if the person is perfectly nice with them, perfectly polite, it could just be in passing, but they just can feel a very bad person when they're in the presence of them. And apparently this was Margaret's strong reaction to meeting him. And like I say, Margaret genuinely believed that this guy was called Dave Smith. All right. And she starts asking around. About him around the area because they're a family that have lived around there for a very long time. They know a lot of people. Kelly knew everyone. People knew Kelly. And so they start she starts asking, do you know Dave Smith? He's about 32. He's sitting with R. Kelly, And everyone's like, no, I never heard of him. Don't know who you're on about. So she's very, very suspicious at this point, is Margaret. She's like, something going on here. She couldn't quite put a finger on it, though. And it would be Dave who would phone the house to say sometimes he was worried about Kelly and, he didn't know if she was going to college and, making it seem like he was on side with her parents as well. It's all very, conniving, very, very manipulative. So at 46, right, which is what the age James is now, it was worked out that he was actually a year older than Kelly's dad, Tommy. She's 16. There's 30 years between them. Margaret eventually finds out they come clean. He says, I didn't want to tell you. I wasn't sure how to tell you because I didn't want you to stop us seeing each other. Right, okay, let me just get this straight. He comes forward and he says he's 32. She's 16. What does he matter if he's 32 or 42? One wouldn't fill me with much more sort of fear than the other one. So why is a 32-year-old man messing around with a 16-year-old girl? It just all very baffling. And a parent said, they had a feeling she was seeing somebody and they had a feeling that they might be older, but they never thought the age gap would be that big. But she'd always hung about with older people. They just didn't think he was going to be that old. Okay. So now it's come out, James is actually 46. And Kelly would spend a lot of time at James's house, a lot of time. And as she was coming home, times fewer and far between, when she would come home, she'd start to look a bit unkept. She'd start to look a little bit like her clothes weren't very clean and her hair wasn't washed. She was looking just a little bit quieter, not their normal bubbly Kelly. So we get to autumn 1995 now. Like I say, Kelly's barely coming home. And they felt that he might be abusing Kelly. That's what they felt. They felt like there's something, really odd going on. But they didn't want to go round to his house. They didn't want to go round to his home because they felt they were going to push her further away. They wanted to keep her on side. So if something bad was happening in the relationship, that she felt she could come home, that was a safe place. I think that's the way they would be coming from. And in fact, yes, of course he was abusing Kelly. Of course he was. Viciously abusing her at this point. And like I say, her confidence had took a hit completely. She just wasn't looking after herself at all. She was looking really down. So anyway, she starts coming home, and it starts being noticing that she's got bruises on her. Okay. Now at this point, James wasn't working. So he's not doing anything back at their house where Kelly's living with him. Oh, turn that off. I thought I turned that off. Sorry, guys. I thought I turned the volume down. Oh, it all went messy. So James wasn't working. And Kelly herself, she's no longer going to college because he's got her out of there. He can't have her around people who could possibly help her. He's got her out of there. So she's starting to become completely isolated now. All right. And then Margaret sees Kelly. And what it was is they were clashing every time, because even though she was spending so much time at James's, all her stuff was still at home. So occasionally when she'd come back, her and Margaret would clash. You know, Margaret wanted her daughter home. She didn't like what was happening. She didn't like this whole setup. And of course, James is there in Kelly's ear. You know, oh, they don't love you. They don't love you. Take no notice. Come to me. Come and stay with me. I love you. Look at how much I beat you to love you. No, I'm not saying he said that. I'm just saying, you know. But on this one occasion, Kelly had gone home to pack a few things. And anyway, Margaret had come home early, I believe. And she walked in and she seen Kelly packing her stuff and throwing her stuff in. And she wasn't quite answering her. Margaret was saying to her, you know, what are you back for? You know, what, are you staying? What are you doing? And Kelly wasn't really answering. And as she finished packing this bag and turned, Margaret says she'd never seen anything like it in her life. And the whole side of Kelly's face was just black. It was just bruised to just a degree that Margaret said, like I mentioned earlier, her blood just ran cold. And she was so upset. But Kelly basically said that some girls had jumped at, and, you know, a load of them had beat her and one had kicked her in the face, and that's where the bruise had come from. And Margaret's just looking at her, and they've all lived around this area for so long that had never been a thing. You know, Kelly had never had anything like that happen to her. She was very confused by the whole thing, but Kelly basically fobbed her off, argued with her, and left. So Margaret was really, understandably, very, very concerned. Next time Kelly came round again, hair all limp and greasy, clothes not washed, hair unwashed. She looked like she was losing weight. And she happened to be in the kitchen, and she turned her arm, and Margaret's seen a massive bite mark on her arm. And again, Kelly fobs it off, saying, oh, I'd either running for the bus or I was by the bus stop and there was a fence, and I jumped over and I caught my arm on the fence, you know, just this whole intricate lie all planned out. And Margaret's just looking at her like, no, that doesn't happen. Another time, she's got fingertip bruising to her neck, which was very obvious what that was. She tried to fob that off. And Margaret was just saying, look, I can't live like this. I can't cope with worrying about you like this. And I think when I watched it, I remember thinking, I think she tried to call her bluff. I think when she said, you either stay and come home here now, or you leave. I can't take this stress anymore. I think when she said that to Kelly, I think she was calling a bluff, and I don't think she thought for a minute Kelly would call her bluff. And she did. she left, which was absolutely heartbreaking to Margaret and Tommy. Now, Kelly did go back for a little while to James, but it had started to ramp up again. He was really, really abusive while she was there. She did leave him, okay, but he stalked her until she came back. It was a very short period of time. I haven't heard too much about that happening, although I have heard on a couple of sources that she did try to leave and he did get her back, but I don't know too much about it. Now, Margaret and Tommy themselves, they'd had enough, so they went round to James's house, and they went in. Now, it was very convincing that, yes, it had been these girls that had beat Kelly, and he was just as angry over it. And when he's showing them round his home, which wasn't very nice, Margaret's like, I can't believe my daughter's living here. But there was a hole in the floorboards that he actually pointed out to them. He says, oh, be careful when you're stepping over that. And I'll tell you how sick that was in a minute. But he pointed that out to them. And even though they're in his home, Kelly brings them in a drink, like a cup of tea, and she's very meek and mild as she's doing it. So she's just doing as she's told. It's all very creepy. But they just didn't want to push her away. That, she kind of convinced them that it was okay and she loved him and he was very good to her. And they left. They left the house. But when they left, Margaret, feeling so uneasy, she called the police. And of course, they're asking, have you seen any proof? Do you know this happening? Etc. etc. She didn't have any proof. So they gave her some advice and they said, call up the doctors and book an appointment in Kelly's name. Go to that appointment yourself and just tell the doctor your concerns. And, if Kelly of her own back goes in there with any marks or, for any particular suspicious reason, the doctor will be aware that there's concerns for her safety. But we don't know. Well, we do know, sorry. I take that back. We do know Kelly never actually went to the doctors again. So there was never that chance to intervene on the doctor's behalf. And at this point now, we come up to November of 1995. And Kelly doesn't actually see anyone again from that time. She doesn't get to see anyone again. She calls home. She makes calls home. She had been working. She had a little job, but he managed to get her out of that, so she couldn't work anymore. And yeah, she just never went back to work, and no one saw her. So people started to get really concerned because, like I say, Margaret and Tommy had only spoke to her on the phone. The neighbours were getting concerned that they hadn't seen her out and about. And when one of the neighbours approached James and was like, I haven't seen your Kelly in a while, he actually gets Kelly to wave from the bedroom window from a chair she sat in. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, Margaret and Tommy, now it's coming into March of 96. Margaret and Tommy were planning to go round. They were planning to go round there again because they hadn't seen her. They hadn't seen her in months. They'd spoken to her, but they hadn't seen her. So they were going to go round. But as they were discussing it, Kelly's brother came in and says that his friend had seen her and she seemed okay. No, and we know she wasn't going out, so I don't understand that bit. Did he get confused with somebody? Had it been a further time frame and he was like, yeah, I seen her not long ago and it had actually been months, I'm not too sure how that time frame works out. But he reckons he saw her. They believed him and they thought, right, okay, we won't go around. We don't want to upset her. So we get to the March 10th, 1996 now. And Margaret calls James's house and she speaks to Kelly. And Kelly, she said she sounded okay at this point. She sounded not her chirpy self by any means, but she sounded okay. And she promised to come round for the following week for Mother's Day. But when Mother's Day comes, now Mother's Day was on the Mother's Day and their anniversary, I believe, that Tommy and Margaret's anniversary was on the same weekend, and 2 cards came, and there was one for the anniversary and one for Mother's Day. And when Tommy walked in, Margaret kind of threw the cards at him. She's like, she ain't with them. And he looked at them and he could tell they weren't his daughter's writing. So, look, I'm not going to give anyone any stick, but why are they the... Anyway, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Right, okay. So, we get to now April 16th, 1996. So it's about 6 weeks later. All right. James walks into a police station. Okay. And he tells the police that Kelly has drowned in the bath. They had been arguing, but it had been an accident and she drowned in the bath. Can you come round and get her? Can you come and collect her? So police found that a bit hard and they're like, right, okay. So they go round to the house, and when they get there and they walk into James's house, they're immediately hit with the fact that there is blood everywhere. There's blood in every room they walk into as they get to the bathroom. And yes, Kelly is in the bath. Yes, she's quite obviously deceased. She's at this point 17 years old. And as they look at this young girl, this young woman, they realise that this isn't a drowning. That's not, well, that's how she died. But that's not what just happened. So they take James out and immediately charge him with first-degree murder. Okay. So the mortician comes in and takes Kelly, obviously, and performs the autopsy on her. And I'm going to tell you what Kelly, I believe, went through for months, but the most egregious injuries would have happened between but from 5 days to anything up to a month, maybe in the 6 weeks it had been since she'd spoke to her mum. Okay. So in the autopsy, Kelly had 150 different injury sites, 150 of them. Within those injuries, she had a lot of burns, which she had burns from cigarettes. She also had burns from boiling water that had been poured on her bum and on her left leg. He said maybe this was to stop her from walking. Also to stop her from walking, her hands and her knees had been smashed and broken. Her arm had been fractured. She also had other broken bones. Her ears, her eyebrows, her mouth, and her genitals had been mutilated, so they were unrecognisable. She'd been tied up by her hair to the radiator. And while she's tied up by her hair to the radiator, she was being scalped. And it was said that it had been intermittently. So it's like she wasn't being scalped all in one go. It was said that the pain that she must have been in during those episodes of while he was scalping this, I keep going to say child, but she still was. They said it must have been horrifically painful for her. She was branded on her thigh with an iron. She was stabbed with scissors in her mouth, possibly pruning scissors. As happens with the majority of these, and I say it all the time, she was then starved. She had no food or water, possibly for days before her death. In fact, she'd lost 44 pounds from when her parents had last seen her. It's a lot of weight for a young, not very big girl anyway. Now, the worst thing they came up against is then they realised that both of her eyes had been gouged out. Okay? And the coroner said that this was done, like I said earlier, between 5 days and a month before this girl died. Well, I think 3 weeks, sorry. 5 days to 3 weeks before this girl actually died. And it said that the nerves would be exposed, so the pain would be horrific anyway. And there was knife or scissor marks in the eye holes after. So they said the pain of that would have actually sent her mentally off. Like, to cope with that pain, it would have actually affected her mentally if everything else hadn't. But there's another case I've heard of a girl who her boyfriend had also done that to her. He'd gouged out both of her eyes. This girl did live, but she said that he tried to drown her. Was it a copycat? I don't know. I don't know too much about that particular story, but it said that when she was put into the cold bath, the pain of the cold water going into her sockets was like hot pokers had been put into them. She says the pain just, you can't get away from it. She said it's just horrific. So the pain this child must have been going through is just awful. He'd strangled her. He'd just done everything to her. I mean, like I say, he mutilated so many parts of her. But the general says with stuff he'd used, like a garden fork. He'd used many cutlery implements. She'd been stabbed with forks and knives. He'd just used anything he'd got hold of on her. And do you remember me saying when Tommy and Margaret had gone round to visit, and he'd said, "Oh, watch that floorboard there." If Kelly wasn't tied up to the heater by her hair, when he wasn't doing that and scalping her, he was just forcing her into the hole in these floorboards, and that's where he was keeping her. So it was either place, that's where she was being kept. And saying that to her parents when they come round, there's a special place in hell for this guy. There really is. There's a special place in hell for him. And poor Tommy. Sorry, before then, the police had gone round to Margaret's and Tommy's, obviously, to tell them what had happened. And as soon as the police walked in, Margaret's like, he's killed her. He's killed her. She just knew. She says, as soon as they walked in the door, she knew what had happened. And Tommy himself, he had to go and ID Kelly, and he just says he didn't recognise her. He didn't recognise his child. He didn't recognise it, like the damage that had been done to her. And Margaret said that people call him an animal, but an animal wouldn't do that to another animal. And she did say that basically she wonders what Kelly was thinking, and she feels guilty. You know, was Kelly thinking, why aren't they coming to help me, kind of thing? I gotta admit, I don't know. I don't know what that girl had been thinking. I genuinely don't know. I can't even imagine. It's just very sad to think that they were going to go around there. And the brother's friend was like, no, I've seen her. They were going to go around there that Mother's Day, when the card didn't come through. And they basically decided not to because they didn't want to push her away or make things worse, make matters worse. I mean, upon the date, we don't know, could that have been before he'd done what he'd done to her eyes or after, but could they have well, they could have saved her, but I just don't know. I don't know, and it must have been so hard. Must be so hard for them to live with. I just, as a couple, I know they didn't give many interviews because I think they got a lot of stick over this case because it hit the whole country, didn't it? It went nationwide. Everyone heard about it, of course. Child 14, she's 15, 16. Why was she allowed to be with him? Why didn't they do anything? You know, and they didn't really give interviews because I believe they just wanted to be left alone. The medical examiner basically said it was the worst case he'd ever seen in over 600 cases. The trial was in November 1996, where he had the audacity to plead manslaughter. He was like, I didn't mean to do it. And basically, he blamed a lot of it on Kelly herself because apparently she would dare him. She would dare him to hurt her. And then when he'd hurt her, she'd go in and make it worse. And she told him to take her eyes out. She told him to do that. That he honestly thought the jury were going to believe this. That a 17-year-old girl would be like, do it. Dare. Just ridiculous. Witnesses came forward, i.e. his ex-girlfriends. Obviously, the beatings that he'd given them came into play. The fact that he tried to drown them came into play. So eventually, it was said that what had happened was on the day of, was it August? Sorry, on April the 16th, 1996, on that day, he'd actually been beating Kelly around the head with the shower head. And he'd beat her into the bath and drowned her in the bath. Or she was beaten unconscious, fell into the bath and died that way. There's a few different stories I'm hearing, but she drowned in the bath. That's what happened. So like I say, he pled to manslaughter, but that didn't work, and his sentence was guilty to first degree murder. Okay. He was given life in prison, which should have been 25 years as life in prison. That's what they were saying, which he would have released in 2021. Now the jury all were offered professional counselling after this trial because of what they'd have to see, what they'd had to view when they had to saw her body and going through all the injuries she'd had, the fact of how she was young. It broke them all, and they all took the counselling. All 12 took the counselling. I think that says a lot. Now, like I said, Margaret and Tommy, they gave very, very limited interviews. But what she did say is she wished she'd have used that bread knife back when she very, very first met him. She wished she'd have took on that feeling that she had and gone with it. And if she was ever given the chance again, she would do it. Just such a shame. Margaret actually passed away in 2020. She was only 65 when she died. She died of respiratory failure after beating cancer twice. Now, she died before he was due for parole, so she didn't have to go through that. But he came up for his parole hearing in 2022. And he was rejected for that parole. He was 74 at the time, and obviously this year he's 76. He's still in prison. And in 2022, when they turned him down, they said that they still believed he could be a danger to society, even at 72 years of age. So they could still just see a rotten man inside and out. And that's to do that to such a young girl. And they said they couldn't understand why he escalated to so much that he hadn't kind of escalated to that degree with his previous partners. And it was said that he possibly felt that Kelly might leave him. And so the smashing of her knees and her hands, breaking her arm, branding her, burning her, finally taking out her eyes. That might stop her leaving him. Can't leave him now. So, oh God, it's just awful. This one is. It really is. And that was the case that shocked Britain. The Kellyanne Bates story. Like I said, originally heard it on Britain's Darkest Taboos. Heard it on other platforms as well. And it's still, even after all these years, still makes my blood run cold. And I genuinely now know what that saying means. It just leaves you feeling, just you see the picture of him and he's just, I don't know if any of you've seen the picture of him. You've got it. There is another picture out there, which is really odd. It's a really odd thing. I don't know why people think that's the real picture, and it's like looks like a tall guy with dark hair, slimmer, and you see that as James Patterson's picture. I don't know if you've seen it out there, and it's like, that's not him. The picture I've seen of him, it's just it's like kind of a passport photo, I suppose you'd say, size. Oh God. You see both photos. And you know exactly who James Patterson is. You know exactly which one he is. Even if you've never seen him and you don't know, if someone showed you the two, you'd be like, that's him. Because you just know. He's just awful. Ugh, just a horrible guy. So yeah, how are we all after that one? That still deserves to rot in prison. I agree, Charlotte. I absolutely agree. I don't think just because you turn a certain age, especially if you are capable, of doing something like that, then you're not going to change just because you've aged slightly. I do think that sometimes just because people are older, it doesn't mean that they change completely. I know we get milder as we get older. I think we get a little bit more, but not all of us. Not all of us, obviously. I did see Tiffany say something then. What did I just miss then? What have I missed? I'm sure I've seen Tiffany write something then. Oh, covered in dough. Covered in dough. Why are you covered in dough? Thank you, Phil. Thank you. That's what's really sad, because I think she would have had a really lovely future, because it seemed like she was such an intelligent girl, and just got caught by this, just this rotten excuse for a man. It just so sad. And I think it's because I know there's only a month between us in age. It's about 6 weeks between us. So she'd have been my age now. And to think what she could have been doing and what future she could have had. She could have kids. She could have, there's just so much she could have done had she not met this absolute manipulative, conniving, vile, just rotten man who just left her. When the neighbours are waving out the bedroom window, it's like, was she tied up then? It's just horrible. She wanted to cook cookies. Make me one. Give me one. Give me a cookie. I want cookies. That's what I want. How are we all now? Just horrific. Oh, hi, Ariane. I know it's just awful, isn't it? It's just a horrible, horrible case. Really is. That's okay, lovely. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Never mind. She good? She good, Warwick? She very well good. She good. I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's just so sad. It genuinely is. It's just so sad. It's a hard one, really. And although I've done it, I know, Tiffany, I know. I just went, see what I did? What was I going to say now? I was going to say something there. He's just completely threw me off. Warwick! If you'd have been here 2 weeks ago, Warwick, I tell you what, that one would have got you. I'm telling you now. It was Tiffany wasn't here for that one. But those here. Is Hayley here tonight? Is Hayley? Because that one was awful. It was a bad one. The other one. But like I say, I know I've done this one. I know a lot of you would have heard this one. It's such a what's the word I'm looking for? Not notorious, that doesn't sound right, but it's just a story a lot of people have heard before. But someone just asked me if I'd do it again, and I was like, oh, I don't know. And they were like, isn't Tuesday request night? And I'm like, yes, actually it is. So here we go. Absolutely, Charlotte, absolutely. That's what I mean. It must have been so hard for her parents as well. I mean, 14. How mature can you actually be at 14? But I was very immature, so I just don't know. I was not very immature, but I was a 14-year-old. I just acted like a 14-year-old. So it's a really, really hard one. And I think they got a real lot of stick. So that's why I think I went a bit harder in the first time I covered this. I think I went a bit harder. And possibly maybe more harder than I should have. I mean, we can all say they should have done this, that, and the other, but they'll never, what could the public say more that they weren't feeling themselves? So I kind of didn't go in. I can't go in against on the parents, should I say? Ugh, God. Put my teeth away. So how have we all been for the past couple of weeks? If you are watching tomorrow, thank you for joining me for that story. I'm just going to have a little chat with the people on the live now, but thank you very much. I know it ran over a little bit because I went crazy at the beginning. But if you'd like to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/Jess Rose 5472. Thank you so much. See what I've done? I've actually done that. I made up my mind that I'm going to give it an ending before I start chatting to you all. Yep, same. 92 at 14 and 93. I just remember I'd moved around to particular. We'd moved around a new area, and I met a friend, and she introduced me to all her friends, and like it was a whole summer of just being out and hanging around cable boxes. I don't know if that's a Birmingham thing. I don't know if anyone else has heard of cable boxes, but that's where we used to hang out, outside of cable boxes or sitting on them. We were so sad. That's what we used to do anyway. It was terrible. But that was my. I mean, I think the oldest people I talked to were probably 17, 18, maybe at a push. So I wasn't really around older people. It just didn't appeal to me. It just genuinely didn't. I liked people my own age. I got on with people my own age. Oh, was you really? Was you really 17? So that would be 12 years. So if my maths isn't wrong, would that make you 34? Have I got that right? Have I just put age on you, or have I not added enough? That make you 34, Natalie? Not too sure. Ugh, have I got that wrong? I'm not too sure. I've got to move around a little bit. My bum's got. Oh, it's fabulous. I don't know if they told you, Tiffany. I was in my element on your kitchen table. I was like, I had all set up. I was sat all with the back. It just looked lovely. It was a very nice setup on that Tuesday. It really was. I had a fabulous time. I hope you're enjoying the summer. So why the cakes though, sis? What are you making cakes for? No. Did I get it wrong, Warwick? Is that what I did? I'm glad you're back, Warwick. I'm so glad you're back. It's been very quiet without you. We've missed you. Are you back? Yeah, Suzanne Kappa. Yes. I've done that one, haven't I? I've done Suzanne Kappa, haven't I? That was an awful one too. Because the kid wanted to. It's late. Why is she up? Send her to bed. Tell her to get to bed now. And save me a cookie. I don't know what I'm on about. Mine is still up. It's terrible. It's terrible. But are we all having a nice start to the summer? I had a fabulous start while I was at Tiffany's. It was so lovely. I know she's 13, all right. I don't know. That's what I was saying. I don't know what I'm on about. Mine are up. I don't know what I'm on about at all. But I didn't know you baked those, Tiff. That's no. She just scared you. I'm not surprised she scares me too. Is Hayley here? Has Hayley been on tonight? I know I've seen Natalie. I'm just giving her age away, if it is the right age. And Warwick and Phil. Seeing Ariane and Charlotte. Is Hayley here, no? Hope she is. She's supposed to be my other moderator. She's supposed to be my other moderator. Is she not taking her job seriously? Is she not? She's not taking, 37. So what did I say? What had I said? 36. I know I'd said 36. Right, okay. There, my math. I know my maths had took a little bit of hit. And Jerome, sorry, Jerome. Hey, how are you? Thank you, Warwick. I'm sorry, Jerome. How are you? Are you new? She was. Hayley just gets very aggressive. Yes, I do. So come on. Yeah, Jerome, are you Sharon's friend? Are you from Belgium? Is that Jerome? Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly. Well, I wasn't going to talk about it, but I lost. Oh God, I don't want to. I'm not right. Okay, I'm going to say it very, very quickly. All right. So I'm so sorry about that, Kelly. I'm going to say this really, really quickly because I don't want to tear up. But we lost Mitzi on Saturday. So there we go. There we go. We'll leave it at that. Not quite there yet. Not quite there. These animals, they break your heart, don't they? It's really, really sad. But she was 16. She was my little old lady. Bless her. She was. So it is hard when they're babies as well. If she was only 5, Kelly, it's when they're young as well. It's a different thing. Way too soon. Worry, too soon. Too soon. He's terrible, isn't he? He's absolutely terrible. He really is. Oh, it is a shame when they're so young. It really is. It's a shame when they're young. So it's yeah. I haven't quite got there yet. And it's really hard because she's on most of my videos. It's okay, Kelly. That's okay. It's okay. It's just, I said, I'm not going to be able to watch a lot of my videos because she's normally got a leg up behind me. It's just, ugh, I can't. Anyway, what was I going to say? Is anyone going on holiday during this time? Although it's so expensive. I was 13. One of my mum's exes was flirting with me. Oh, that's awful, Charlotte. Oh, wow. I'm glad your mum got rid of him anyway. It sounds like a wrong gun. 13 as well. Mr. Tinkles. Mr. Tinkles, how cute. Oh, thank you, Phil. Thank you. It's just, you feel daft sometimes, but they're like, they look part of your family, aren't they? They're just part of your family, and just the amount of times this week I've kind of forgot, I suppose, and just like little things I do, and I'm like, oh, but I put that down. So it's just getting, I'm just it's just taking it in, I think is the words I'm thinking of. Oh my God. Anyway, that's throwing me off completely. That's throwing me off. We know how to keep things jolly, don't we? We do. Oh dear. But was he trying? You would think so, the way she worded it, wouldn't you? He, she. What is he? What is he? That's terrible. Oh, I'll tell you what. Breaking it up completely. Did you hear about all the stuff that was going on in Birmingham last night? It was literally, I could hear it from where I lived. Like, I don't live far from when that trouble kicked off. I don't know if any of you have seen it. Oh, 100%, Kelly. 100%. Absolutely. Yeah. See anything with animals at all. My own NA. Oh, you have, Tiffany. You really have. You have cheered us up. Oh, hang on. It keeps going off. 1 second. Sorry, Charlotte. It's gone off. Oh, it's sad again. Next one. Sorry. Was there any help though at Childline back when you were in school? Yes, there was. We did have Childline. Because we were all given the number, believe it or not. And in my school, we did have like a payphone. So, yeah. Yes, she is. Don't ever say that name again. Don't ever say that name again to me, Warwick. Ever. Not don't get me started on that name. I was only discussing that today. I was only discussing that name earlier. And no, yes, I know. Had personal dealings with that lady. Personal dealings. And yeah, he actually preferred both gender. So he was gender fluid. He was a gender fluid kitty. God, went a bit manic then, didn't I? Don't know what. Oh, Miss Sargon. I don't know who that is. Sargon. I need to see who that is. Yeah, I don't know. Any good? And anything like Jess Phillips? Because if not, if whoever that is, then you're doomed, like us. Yeah, he's a gender fluid little kitty. What's? Oh, for God's sake! See, I try and make a joke and I still botch it up. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. But yeah, that trouble boy us was just. It's a little bit frightened. Okay, I'll have a look. But yeah, Her name's not allowed to come on my live anymore. That wasn't even that wasn't even one of them. That wasn't even what I meant. Sorry, Phil. It's all right. It's all right. I've got to stop doing that. I've got to stop doing that. I really have. It's terrible, but that's no. See, that's I weren't even doing that. That was an automatic reaction. That weren't even that. Terrible. Yeah, we're not fans. We're, as you can see, not a fan of her at all. Can't say that loud because it will be on the live, but yeah, not a fan at all. At all. But thank you all for joining me tonight. And I do want to apologise. I genuinely want to apologise for the start of it. I'm dreading watching that back. Oh, I'm dreading watching that back. And the piercing sound, that must have killed all your ears. It was killing mine. Oh, Kelly, don't. I know. I know. It's just awful. It's just awful. It's created something. I think it started something that I don't know if it's going to be able to be pulled back. But yeah, I'm going to keep going with these just to create a little bit of normality. But I don't know for how long. I think it's all. I think things are going to. I think they're going to kick off. I do. I think it's going to get quite bad. But as Phil said, it's jingle time. It's jingle time for you all. On a lighter note, because yeah, I don't know how long. I might just be telling you these from like bricks in a few months. That's terrible. That's a horrible thing to say. That's a horrible thing to think. Like plugging it in. Okay. Right, okay. Right, we'll leave it at that then. We do. Okay, so jingle time. Lost connection. Oh, sorry, Ariane. You haven't missed anything. You're okay. You're okay. I'm just about to do the jingle time. So I agree, Kelly. People have just been pushed too far. Just being pushed way too far. And they what's your opinion about GoFundMe? I don't like GoFundMe. Charlotte, I've never used it. I don't know a lot about it. I think it can be good in some respects. I think if it goes to the right person and it's for the right reason, I would think I would think so. But I don't know a lot about it to read comments on it. GoFundMe as a thing. I don't know. I don't like the fact that if they don't agree with let's say how to word it, if they don't agree with your certain affiliation, they can block the money and make sure you don't get it. Have heard of that happening. So I don't agree with them for that, but I don't know a lot about it. I think it could be GoFundMe could be a really good thing as long as it's used properly, I think. Sharon. What? Why? What's happening? Why? Oh, why? What did I miss there? Have I missed something? Have I missed goss? Let me do my jingle beforehand. Why are you laughing? What? Ask her what? Ask her what? Ask her what? Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem, Kelly. That's what's pushing everyone over. We're full of them. I'm in Birmingham, for God's sake. It's just mental. And people have just had enough. And it doesn't help that anyone who speaks up is labelled a certain term. I've got to be so careful. But yeah, if you happen to speak up regarding that, then there's a label just slapped on your back. And what can you do? But Jess Rose would go for it. Right, okay, I get what you mean. Yes, there was a thing with that, wasn't there? Oh, thank you, Ariane. Thank you for joining us. You take care, lovely. You take care, and hopefully see you Thursday. Charlotte, yeah, I've always said the J6 one, I genuinely don't know a lot about it, so I don't tend to comment too much on that. It's only what I've heard through you ladies, really. I don't know a lot about it. That's the problem, Kelly. That's the problem. But if you comment on it, you know what you are, don't you? Oh, God, don't get me on my soapbox. Don't get me on my soapbox. Because it's crazy. It's crazy. And you've still got the do-gooders. You've still got the do-gooders. Come here. Don't. So God, don't do so. It's that. It is, Phil, because it kicked it off in Birmingham because they said that there was supposed to be, as they put it, quite as they do, a far right rally, which it wouldn't have been. Would you have a couple of divs attached to it? Of course, every group has divs attached to it. But for the most part, it just would have been people marching for what is going on in the country. And I knew there wasn't anything in Birmingham. I knew that. And something got released out to the public. So, of course, that triggered a group to come out that we'd have probably got on with up to 6 months ago. And all of a sudden, they're literally having people at, loggerheads. And I says to my mum, I says, it's all manufactured to have us like this. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what the end game is. I'm going to say that. It's the only thing I can actually say clear. She's welcome. That's what gets shouted. That's what it is, Tiffany. And it's the do-gooders. The do-gooders are going to be, I think that's what makes them dangerous, because they think they're doing good. That's what makes them dangerous. That's what makes this whole thing scary, because the people pushing it, they actually believe they're doing a good thing. They do, and that's what makes them so dangerous. It's crazy at the minute. I just don't know where it's going to go. I spoke to my mum and said, I just don't know what the end game is. I don't know. I just wish I knew. So we could just sit back and be like, right, okay, we've just got to get to this part, but I just don't know. Oh, sorry. Agreeable, Kelly. Agreeable. And being able to walk around. I mean, don't get me wrong. We all know, there's certain places you can't walk around, and you wouldn't walk around in at night. I mean, like I said, I live in Birmingham, but it's crept up, hasn't it? It's crept up. I'll never forget hearing that there was some gangs in, let's just say down south, who openly said they had to ramp up their game. You can see the hands, because of people coming into the country who just had a completely different outlook on life. I'm trying to word this so carefully. So they had to ramp up their game, because these groups were making our gangs, if you like, look soft. So they had to up the ante, kind of thing. There's where. Yeah, I've seen a list. I'm not going to lie, I have seen a list, Kelly, and I believe so. But the reason I know this was a set-up, if you like, is Birmingham weren't on that list. We weren't on it. There was most cities on there, but we weren't on there. So what triggered yesterday was just crazy, because we were never on there. So then this rumour going out, it's like, no one was ever going to be there. I'll have a look at that. Ariane. I've got an idea, but I'll see what that says. I'll have a look, because it's bad where we're going, I think. But I just really hope everyone's panicking, and it's gonna settle down, and he who shall not be named will actually do his job. But to be honest, I don't think it's his choice anymore. I don't think, I genuinely don't. I think he's getting a lot of the stick and the backlash, but I don't think I don't think he's got to say. I think he gets up and says in his speeches what he's told to say. So I don't think it's got anything to do with him anymore. Include your plan and social credit system. I'll have a look at that. I'll have a look at that sausage. Yeah, I'll have a look because I genuinely haven't heard of that. So yeah, so I'm getting on that note, on that happy note. Scary, isn't it? Scary. I'm going to do our jingle. It's jingle time. That Phil mentioned like probably 20 minutes ago. I know. I'm doing it. So, what am I going to say? What was I going to say? So, if you're watching now, if you could go in and like and comment once the video is posted, I'd really appreciate it. If you're watching tomorrow, if you want to join, oh look, I jumped into it then. If you want to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/Jess Rose 5472. Or you can like, comment, subscribe, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys, please. Look, comment, subscribe. Move that out. Yeah, move the thumbs. Look, comment and subscribe, guys. God, I've just spent the whole day sweating. It's terrible. We're just showing them we're not going to put up with what is happening in Paris. I agree. 100% I'm with you. I'm with you, Kelly. I just think I've heard of that. Heard of that one. I know they're mentioning, they're trying to say that there is a Agenda 2025. That's not a thing. There's a Project 47, but there's no Agenda 2025, and they're trying to scare people with that. I do know that, but I'll have a look at that other one. Right, I'm going to let you all go because it's so late, but thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for staying with me while it all went crazy. I'll try and sort it out for the next time, but thank you all so much. Look at me all sweaty. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you all on Thursday, hopefully at 8 p.m. Thank you all, guys. Thank you, Phil and Warwick and Natalie and Kelly and Hayley and Tiffany. Of course, my moderators extraordinaire. And Charlotte. I've said Ariane. No, we're not, are we? We're not the crazy ones. Funny that, isn't it? Who else is there? Jerome. Thank you all so much. If I've missed anyone out, I'm so sorry. I've said Natalie, haven't I? Thank you all so much. And I'll see you all on Thursday. Take care, guys. Thank you all so much. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. Like, comment, subscribe.